Wanted to give y'all an update on our likes contest here at Chat Sports. Thanks to your help, we have jumped the Lakers report. Now help us catch Bears Now. Just a couple days left in the month of June. On July 1st, this contest is going to end. Hit that thumbs up icon. Help us win this thing. Dolphins Today is presented by Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com and use promo code Dolphins, you can get 20% off plus free shipping. And 4th of July is about a week away. We want to be looking good, trust me, on the 4th. So go to manscaped.com. Take advantage of that great deal we're giving you. Welcome into Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott. And on today's show, we're going to be breaking down ESPN's 53-man roster projection and going over some guys that I thought were surprise cuts. Now, of course, I did my roster projection a few weeks ago. However, ESPN and I had a few disagreements. Not a lot of disagreements, but definitely a few guys that they don't have making the team that I definitely think are making this roster. And we'll start with Kellen Diesch, an undrafted free agent. And I understand that Diesch is a UDFA, and it shouldn't be a hot take for somebody to say that a UDFA is a cut candidate. However, he is the best UDFA in all of football. It was Tom Downey's, here at Chat Sports, #1 ranked UDFA, was a projected 4th-round pick, somehow did not get drafted out of Arizona State. And when you're looking at UDFA's chances of making the team, you have to look at the contract that they got. His contract includes $140,000 guaranteed. They would not give that to him if they didn't believe he had a good chance of making this roster. And the Dolphins' offensive line is one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So when you factor in the contract, when you factor in this offensive line situation, Diesch has a really good chance of making this team. Here is ESPN's projection. So they have Diesch as the odd man out of these 10 guys. These are the 10 guys that are really vouching for, let's say, 9 spots. I think the Dolphins are going to carry 9 offensive linemen. In fact, ESPN and I agreed that the Dolphins will carry 8. Here is who I had not making the cut, who ESPN did have making the cut. That's Larnell Coleman. I do not see a world where Coleman makes the roster over Diesch. Coleman did not play last year in his rookie season, a 2021 7th-round pick out of UMass. If he was a 2nd or 3rd-round pick, it would be far different in terms of him making this roster potentially. But let me say this. Kellen Diesch is going to make this football team. ESPN is dead wrong here. I'm sorry. Diesch is going to make the team. They gave him a lot of guaranteed money. In fact, I have said on this show that don't be surprised if Diesch makes the team, and don't be surprised if he gets significant playing time by year's end, because Austin Jackson does not have any experience at the right tackle position. Liam Eichenberg, no experience at the right tackle position. Kellen Diesch might be an option to start on this football team by year's end if Jackson and Eichenberg both play like they did last season. Now, if it comes down between these two guys for the last offensive line spot, who makes the team? Is it Larnell Coleman or is it Kellen Diesch? Type LC for Coleman or type KD for Diesch down in the comments section. It's the pinned comment on today's video. When an ad break comes here in a few seconds, go down and chime in. Number 2 guy that I had making the roster that ESPN didn't is linebacker Sam Eguavoen, who since coming to the Dolphins 3 years ago has played in every single game. So it was a little bit surprising to see ESPN saying that he's not going to make the Dolphins roster. Now, he signed a 1-year contract extension back in March. Now, that doesn't mean he's a lock to make the team. He's still got to go out there and prove his worth. But I think Sam Eguavoen is going to make this team. I'll tell you why here in a second. First, go down and subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer to 26,000 subscribers. I still think we can get to 30 by the opening kickoff against the New England Patriots. So go down and subscribe. Help us get to 26,000 subscribers. Here was the 8 linebackers that ESPN says are going to make this roster. So they have Jerome Baker, Landon Roberts, Jalen Phillips, Melvin Ingram. Obviously, most of these guys are locks. AVG, Channing Tindall, third-round pick, Duke Riley, and Brennan Scarlett. Now, I projected 9 linebackers make this roster, those 8 plus Eguavoen. That's a lot. I understand that having 9 linebackers on a roster is a lot. A lot of teams just carry, 7 or 8. So I would not be shocked to see an odd man out, and that odd man out could very well be Eguavoen. I understand he's played a pretty big role as a backup linebacker on this defense the last 3 seasons. He's durable, he's reliable, but if there's an odd man out, I would not be shocked if it's him. So I don't really think it's that hot of a take from ESPN that they're projecting he's going to miss out. Now let me tell you about our friends over at Manscaped, because they're trying to get you set for the 4th of July with the Performance Package. And the Performance Package is going to come with everything you need. I can promise you that. It's going to come with the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, outstanding, the Crop Reviver toner, the Performance Boxer Briefs. That's not it. You also get a travel bag. And let me tell you, I know a lot of y'all are going to be traveling down to the beach or to the pool like me and Marshall Green for the 4th of July. Bold stripes, bright stars, beautiful balls. That's what Manscaped is trying to do for you, getting you set for the 4th of July. Guys, let's look good. Let's impress the ladies on the 4th. Go to manscaped.com. Promo code Dolphins. Got to use that promo code for 20% off plus free shipping. Let's talk about another UDFA. That is Verone McKinley III. So 2 of the first 3 guys we're talking about here are surprise cut candidates that are undrafted free agents. Obviously, Eguavoen, he's not one of those guys. But Kellen Diesch and Verone McKinley III, both surprise cut candidates from ESPN, even though they're UDFAs. Now, McKinley signed with the Dolphins as an undrafted free agent. Much like Diesch, he was a projected mid-round pick, somehow did not get drafted. And, it's funny, when the draft ended and I saw the Dolphins signed him, I was stunned. I just assumed he had been drafted. I didn't even know he was out there for the taking because he was an All-American last season. He led the FBS in interceptions. He's also impressed in OTAs and in minicamp. Here are the 4 safeties that they had making this roster. So, obviously, the first 3 guys are going to make it. I think Eric Rowe, personally, is going to get traded, which would increase Verone McKinley's third chances of making this roster. So they have Clayton Fedula making it, who I don't really think his chances are better than Verone McKinley III's. Now, he has special teams value. He was a team captain last season, a 6-year NFL veteran, has spent the last 2 seasons with Miami. Now, he's valuable on special teams, but when you look at what he did on defense, just 7 tackles in 17 games played last season. He is projected by ESPN to make this 53-man roster, and I think ESPN is wrong here. When you look at McKinley III and when you look at Fedulum, Verone McKinley by far is the better option. He has the most upside, the most potential. He had no business of being a UDFA. And ESPN, in their 53-man roster projection for the Dolphins, did not have any UDFAs making this team. I think that's unrealistic. I think they're wrong. Now, who makes the team out of these 2? If one guy makes the team. Now, if Eric Rowe gets traded, which I think is likely, then both guys are probably going to make the team. But if Eric Rowe stays as the 3rd safety on this team, which one of these 2 gets the last spot? Is it Verone McKinley III, an undrafted free agent out of Oregon, type VM, or if it's Clayton Fedulum, type CF, down in the comments section. So those are the 3 guys that ESPN and I disagreed with. A guy that I agreed with ESPN, Adam Shaheen, the tight end who has spent some time with the Dolphins now, last 2 seasons. I don't think he makes this team because when you look at the current tight end situation, the Fins re-signed Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe. Both of those guys were free agents. They bring back both of those guys. Not to mention, you have Hunter Long, a 3rd-round pick who we did not see a whole lot of last season, who I think is going to have a much bigger role on this team this season. Here is their roster projection at the tight end position. They have Gesicki, Smythe, and Long as the 3 tight ends on this team. Now, it's interesting because on the Dolphins' initial 53-man roster last season, they carried 5 tight ends. There's no way that's going to happen this year. They'll probably carry 3, and those will be the 3. And it's not a hot take to say Adam Shaheen is not going to make this roster. Hunter Long has by far the most upside. He is a third-round pick. You have to invest. He was a third-round pick just last season. We barely saw him on the field last season. That is going to change under Mike McDaniel and Frank Smith this year. So that being said, the Dolphins should look to trade Adam Shaheen. If you're going to cut him in August, look to trade him as soon as possible. You do not need him on this roster. Other teams with tight end depth might. Our 5th and final surprise cut candidate is Salvon Ahmed. And out of the 5, he's probably the least surprising. Both ESPN and I agreed that he's not going to make this team. And he's on the hot seat after the Dolphins running back signings. They signed Sony Michel, Raheem Mostert, and Chase Edmonds in free agency. Not to mention, you have Zaquandre White, who's been making some strides in OTAs and minicamp. He's looked great throughout the Dolphins offseason program. So not only that, you would save nearly $1 million by getting rid of Ahmed. Here are the 5 running backs that they have making the roster. Ingold, more of a fullback, obviously. So they have Edmonds, Mostert, Michel, Gaskin, and Ingold as the ball carriers making this roster. I agree with ESPN there. Now, out of the 5 surprise cut candidates that we talked about, name one that makes this team. Go down in the comments section and let me know. I think a lot of y'all are going to be saying Verone McKinley III or Kellen Diesch. Thanks for watching Dolphins Today. Appreciate you all tuning into the program. If you haven't already, go down and subscribe.